Hey, it's Jeremy with Content Mavericks, and in this video, I'm going to go over three angles that we test with every new advertising campaign. Now, if you follow us here at Content Mavericks, you know that we primarily send our ads, think Meta, think Facebook and Instagram ads, to what we call an invisible sales letter. This is our invisible sales letter. And what it is you're taking an educational, value based blog post and you're merging it together with a persuasive, direct response sales letter into this one piece of content that really collapses all the elements that you need in a buyer's journey onto a single page. So we are able to pre sell, pre educate our leads, build authority, all that good stuff. And rather than try and push them through some rigid sales funnel, we send them to this page and we allow them to consume this content and then raise their hand and self identify their interest in saying, hey, I may want to work with you guys. All right. So when we're driving ads to this page, there's certain things that we do. We test different angles. We have some different angles we love to test. And then we have our red light, green light ad testing protocol. That's where we're going to spend a certain amount on each ad. We're going to look at certain KPIs. That's how we decide what we keep on, what we turn off, all that good stuff. I'm not going to go too deep into the weeds on the metrics, but I do want to go over three angles that I recommend that you use on day one when you're launching your advertising campaigns. The first one is what we call the big result. Exactly what you would think. This is where you're going to highlight a very impressive, specific outcome that your product or your service helped someone achieve. You're going to focus on the transformation, the end result. You want it to be measurable, quantifiable with some kind of improvement or milestone, clear, bold, metrics, simple explanation of how it was achieved. And you want to add a little bit of curiosity as well. All right, let's look at a fictional example here. So, what I would recommend in this case, this is our meal plan. If you have a name for your meal plan, even better, because that adds to the curiosity. So, our hybrid intermittent fasting meal plan helped Mark lose 30 pounds in 3 months while still enjoying pizza on Fridays. So, again, breaking this down, it's very specific 30 pounds, specific time frame, 3 months. We have the relatable character, which is Mark, and the unexpected benefit while still enjoying pizza. All right. So you want to use this. So, for example, one that's performed really well for us is we would say how we get up to 45 customers per day with an invisible sales letter. Very specific, up to 45 customers, time frame in a day with a mechanism, an invisible sales letter. So you want to use the big results when you want to quickly grab attention, when your offer has delivered at least one remarkable result that you can share, and it's perfect for social proof focused or competitive markets where you want to really stand out with a result that you got. Okay, this second ad angle we're going to cover is what we call the misconception ad angle. This one is super effective. Many times, this is the winner when we're testing ad angles for clients because it really catches people off guard because it confronts and corrects a common myth or mistaken belief your target audience likely has. Okay, so what we're going to do with the misconception ad, we're going to challenge the status quo or a widely held assumption with a surprising or counterintuitive hook and position what we do as a smarter alternative. Okay, so you want to bust a myth, you want to clarify the actual truth, and then you want to briefly explain why if you can. If not, the content will explain why, right? Remember, that ad would then go to your landing page. In our case, it would go to an invisible sales letter. Okay, fictional example here. Most people think moisturizing makes oily skin worse, but the right moisturizer actually balances your skin. Or it could say something like, most people think that they should wash their face daily to have clear skin. That actually may be the worst possible thing you can do, right? Misconception, because then people are thinking, wait a second, I thought I was supposed to wash my skin every day. Most golfers go out on the driving range before their round. Here's why that probably adds 10 strokes to your golf game. Like, wait a second, I was supposed to warm up on the driving range. You're telling me that makes my golf game worse, right? And then you're going to close that loop in the content and explain. All right, there's a whole little framework here. All right, fictional example here. Common belief, moisturizing worsens oily skin. That's a common belief. We're going to correct that misconception. That's the misconception. Right moisturizer balances skin. So it's a counterintuitive solution. And the implied solution is, of course, going to be our product, the specialized moisturizer. Or in the golf case, it would be something that allows you to not have to go out on the driving range because it allows you to warm up in another way. All right. You want to use this when a myth is blocking conversions, or when you can give people a misconception that's really going to capture attention because they're used to hearing it one way and now you're going to tell them it's another. You want to this repositions your product or service as innovative, or you as the expert, because you are zigging when everybody else is zagging, or zagging when they're zigging, however you want to look at it. And this is super effective, by the way, if you're in a market that you think is crowded or saturated. This is super effective. So think of the marketing world. Well, why doing a webinar is the worst decision for your business, or think of the fitness world. You know, why exercising every day is the worst possible thing for your body. Something like that, right? Misconception. All right. And the third and final one we're going to go over today that we like to test is, drumroll, the direct ad angle. Okay. So this one will surprise us sometimes because this is the one that is just straightforward, no fluff, telling the audience exactly what your ad is about, why you want them to click it. And it works surprisingly well because there's some people that just need you to get to the point. All right. It's simple, conversational, clear, direct, quickly outlines what they're going to get when they click. We may do things like, hey, read this if you are read this if you own a car dealership and you want to sell more cars, right? Or read this if you're a golfer and you want to cut 5 strokes off your game. Read this if you're a marketer and you're struggling to get leads in 2025. It could be something like that. And it's just immediate call to action. It does not have to be read this if. That's just an example. It could be step by step how to do this. Step by step how to cut 5 strokes off your golf game. All right. Fictional example. If your phone battery dies before lunchtime, try our power case. It doubles your charge instantly. Order now. Okay. So I actually used AI to come up with this fictional example. I don't actually like this one as far as the way I would do it. If it were me, just to give you some insight, I would say I like to leave the curiosity. If your phone battery dies before lunchtime, try this. Try this solution, or try my or this is the way to prevent it from happening starting tomorrow. Or read this if your phone battery constantly dies before lunchtime. Again, I'm winging it here because I'm not going to go and be too get this perfect for you. I want you to think how I think, right? And so what am I going to say to people that is going to get them to want to click, but also gets across very directly what I'm talking about? If your phone battery dies before lunchtime, you need to try this power case if you want to talk about the product. Okay. Anyways, clear problem. Battery dies before lunchtime. Direct solution, try our power case. Or the direct solution could just be try this unique strategy, or change these settings in your phone, whatever. The benefit, doubles your charge. Immediate CTA, order now, or read this. You want to use this because attention spans are short and some people will respond to this. It can work well for retargeting or warm audiences as well. And it can push a decisive action if you do have a deadline or something like this. So for example, if you need more clients in the month of August, read this before Friday, right? It's like, what? So, something like that. Or this may be the best thing you read in 2025, something like that. All right. 3 ad angles: the direct, which I just went over, the misconception, and the big results. That's what we do here. We send it to an invisible sales letter. Hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to you soon.